Hey, what's up? Thanks again for tuning in to another one of my videos here. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit more about the tattooing that I talked about in a previous video. This is going to kind of be a little similar, but a little bit more in depth with the different things that you can do with Photoshop when it comes to placing tattoos onto different subjects and things of that sort. Maybe more so for graphic designing or excuse me, even if you have your own picture that you want to take a look at and place some tattoos on, you can kind of do that yourself. Now, as I spoke of last time, what's going to be different from this video and the last video is the format of the file that you're going to be using for the tattoo. Last video we took a look at using a picture that had a white background and coming over to the layer section here and doing a multiply. In this video I'm going to actually use another technique which is a little more which is a little better in terms of like placing tattoos and using certain files and things of that sort. So we're going to take a look at that right now. So I was able to find this uh, really cool picture of Wolverine there, and then I simply just went to Google. Now the type of file that you really want to try to take a look at using for tattoos, more so than one that's on a white background, is actually one that has a file extension of PNG. So it'll be saved as maybe tattoo.png versus maybe a GIF file or a JPEG file. The reason being, and I'll show you here in Photoshop, the reason being is PNG files actually have a transparent background. So it's placed on a background where there isn't either a black background or a white background. The background is actually transparent, and we'll see how that comes into play. So I was able to find these really cool kind of looking Native American type graphics, and I'm going to place this here on Wolverine in a particular way. So in the previous video, what I did is I typically just I simply pulled that over, dragged it, and placed it on top here as such. But as you see, it's pulling over every single thing here, every single graphic, and maybe you only want just one. All right. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and delete that layer. All right, and I'm going to come back to the background. Now, there's a couple of different things that you can do here. I'm going to simply, which is probably going to be the easiest, I'm going to take the eraser tool. All right, I'm going to switch the size to where it's a little bit bigger, and I'm simply just going to erase the graphic that I don't want. All right, make sure that you get everything here that you don't want. All right, and we'll simply just erase what you don't want. We'll get that right out of there. You may have to zoom in or get a little bit closer, or maybe even use a smaller brush if you um, have a graphic that's a little bit closer together. All right. So as you see, I went ahead and erased the area that I don't want. Now, as you can see, all I have left is the picture here, or the graphic of the Native American tribesmen here. And it's very simple as before. What you'll do, you'll grab it, pull it over, and place it right on top of exactly what you want. Now, the other good thing about doing this is you can see maybe some areas where you might have left off in terms of the erasing when you pull it over. So you can simply grab your eraser tool and erase out the areas that you don't want, or maybe some of the areas that you missed. Now, as you can see, this doesn't look like a tattoo at all. But what we're going to do is we're going to use the same technique that we used before in terms of transferring or using a transform, excuse me, and getting this picture to be a lot smaller. All right, and placing it exactly where you want it to be. Now, as you'll see, the item is still as big as it was when the other two graphics were here, but you simply just adjust it. You know, it's really easy. I usually grab a corner, try to make it maybe know exactly where I want it to be at, and place it on the body where I'd like it to be at. All right. So this is going to be right on this really cool picture of Wolverine, right on his chest. All right. Maybe during his fights or whatnot, he was able to meet a Native American tribesman that helped him fight, and he went to tattoo artists and got a tribute of this specific tribesman on his chest. All right, so we're going to place that right there. That looks about good. Go ahead and hit enter. Come over to the layer options and click on multiply. Awesome. Now, as you can see, I'm not going to get into this right now, simply because just for the sake of time, I won't get real deep into this. But when you place this specific tattoo on Wolverine, he has a chain on, and there's a way to remove that chain and actually even place that chain on top of the tattoo, so you can see it a lot more. All right. I'm sorry, so that it's not over the chains, over the dog tags, and it looks like it's actually right on his chest. All right. As you can see, it looks pretty cool right there. And it's also the good thing about doing that free transform like that, it's going to take into account the shadows that are already in whatever picture that you're using, so it's going to look real natural. All right. So I'm going to actually move this over, and I'm going to place it on the arm. All right, just so you can see a little bit more of the detail of the tattoo, and you can always, come through, transfer it down, scale it down a little bit more, so that it is actually to scale as far as the arm is concerned. Boom, right there. It looks really cool. It looks like tattoo's been there forever. It's a really cool looking theme there. All right, that's just another cool tip to use. Like I say, just to recap, try using a PNG file, a file that has a transparent background, and the tattoo is going to look a lot more. It's going to have a lot more depth to it. You're not going to have to worry about, having to erase a background or anything like that. And it's a really simple tool to use to place tattoos on subjects. All right. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. Thanks for checking it out. Have a great day.